Hi, my name is Shari Doherty, and I'm a lady in red, in Act 2 of my career and living my best life. My perspective on life and behaviors have been governed by who I was as a child, who I became, and who I am still striving to be. People my age are beautiful, bold, confident, and full of wisdom, and truly, the encore of the story of your life is still when the best songs are yet to be sung. My mission in this podcast is to shine the spotlight on people like me, have real conversations about reinvention stories, and inspire you to continue to follow your dreams regardless of your age. I'm doing it for Daisy. Who are you doing it for? Good day, and welcome to today's episode of the Encore podcast. Today, it's just me, and I wanted to share with you all some things that I have recently learned from the game of tennis. So, a little bit of backstory is that my husband and I decided recently we wanted to take some tennis lessons. The reason for that is I wanted to take up a new shared activity that we could do together and something that we can really hone our skills on so that in the future, tennis can be our game. When you think about the future years, and retirement is many, many years away for us, but when you do think about that, a lot of couples take up golf. I don't like golf, to be honest. It's okay. It's not fast enough. It takes way too much time. I've always said that the only people who can spend the time to play golf are either really, really wealthy people or very, very senior executives or retired people because I don't have 4 hours to play any game. And then, of course, by the time you travel there, you play the game, you have a drink afterwards, it can almost consume your whole day. And with our busy lives, we just don't have time for that. I also don't love hitting a little ball and trying to find it in the woods or in a ravine or somewhere like that. So it's okay, but it's not my sport and it's not how I see myself spending my retirement years. So we do really like tennis, and we very often said we should take tennis lessons and become part of the local tennis club. And we finally did it this year. We're very much 5-second rule people. And this year, one day I said, that's it. This year, I'm registering us for tennis lessons. So we joined tennis lessons at the Kingston Tennis Club. And I do love this about Terry. One of the great things about him is he's always up for trying new things. And he was very enthusiastic about it and wanted to do it together. So that was great. We signed up for 4 lessons, which is just kind of dipping our toes in the water a little bit. And there were several things that I took away from our tennis lessons that I reflected upon afterwards that were really something I learned that I didn't expect to learn other than just some tennis skills. So, for one, I'm not very good at it, but I really enjoyed it. And basically, what that taught me is you don't have to be good at things to enjoy them. There's always a place to start. And maybe if we keep playing for 5 or 10 years or something, we would actually get better at it. But we actually talked about it as a couple, and there were a couple of key takeaways we took away from it that we thought, this is really interesting. So it was really good for us because it really made us think about our teamwork and how we communicate with each other. So one of the exercises or drills that we had to do was actually an exercise where you had to pass balls back and forth to each other. No rackets. It was just, bouncing and catching and bouncing and catching, one with your left hand, one with your right hand, and catching or tossing with the opposite one. So you have to have good communication with your partner, good trust, and good teamwork. And then once you had the rhythm going, you actually had to shuffle. So you had to move in unison so that you didn't lose the rhythm. And of course, it was funny. And we couldn't do it at first, but after a little while, when we said, now let's really try and do this, we actually got into rhythm and we trusted each other. And it was really a nice metaphor for life because you do have to trust your partner, you do have to communicate well, and you do have to get in a rhythm together. And we really enjoyed that as an exercise because we live crazy busy lives together, but we don't often do those kind of exercises that are really good reminders about what it takes to be successful in life and in your relationship. So it was a really light bulb moment for both of us to think, this was really fun. We were doing a simple task, but it made us really think about how we do things together. And we carried forward with that throughout the week, just kind of a joke, but it really had like a deeper meaning. So that was fun. Another thing we took from it that we really enjoyed was that we were both on the same level. And by that, I mean neither one of us is particularly good at it, which is interesting. But if we went there and he was really good at it, he would have been telling me how to do it, and I wouldn't have responded to that very well. And if I was really good at it and tried to tell him what to do, he probably wouldn't have responded to that very well. And we're both kind of basic beginners. We're not terrible. We can get some good rallies going and we both take good shots from time to time. But it was really good that we were starting at the same level because then we can also grow together at the same level. We really enjoyed our coach, and it was really nice for us to have a third party to kind of give corrections to both of us because we don't always respond perfectly to corrections we give each other. It's kind of like white noise because honestly, I have a lot to say, and I'm sure he's not always listening, and vice versa. So it was really interesting for us to take that from another person and for us to be growing and learning different skills together. So that was really fun. We also really learned how much we appreciate positive reinforcement from one another. So I would think about when I made a good shot or I did a good save, and Terry would say, like, wow, Shari, that was a really great save, or good job, babe, and give me a high five, and vice versa. I would say, like, good for you. That was great, dude. We both really respond well to that. I think that's also a really interesting metaphor for life because we don't, and not just us, but everybody, we don't do it enough. And so all day, every day, who didn't take out the garbage? Who didn't cook dinner? Why isn't the lawn mowed? Whatever, all the things, the life maintenance things. And do we often stop enough to say, I'm really proud of you for the life that we've built together, or the fact that, you do take great care of our home and of our family. And we both really respond well to positive reinforcement. Both of our love languages is words of affirmation. We both like to be told we're great. Just saying. And it was just a nice reminder on a regular basis that we do respond well to that. We should carry that forward into our day-to-day relationship as well. We also really liked that it got us in the outdoors and that we were exercising together using new skills. It was more exercise than I planned for it to be, though, because I certainly didn't expect I was going to go to tennis and be huffing and puffing. And so what I learned is I'm probably more out of shape than I thought I was. So there's some inspiration there to make sure I get my cardio back and make sure I can pivot and I can move and I can play a full game, which is going to be our goal. Obviously, we'd like to join the tennis club and we would like to become part of that community. It was really nice to meet people from all walks of life. And it's funny because these were really friendly, nice people, and nobody ever spoke about what they do professionally. So no one asked me what I do for a living. I didn't ask anyone what they do for a living. We made some nice friends. We played a couple of games of tennis. We shared contact information so we can stay in touch and maybe sign up again for another set of lessons. But it was really nice just for a while to not be thinking about business or thinking about our lives. And no one knew I was Shari the realtor or Terry the insurance guy. And it was just nice to be tennis players. So we really appreciated that. That was really fun as well. And it was really nice time once a week where we didn't think about anything else. So we have a ton going on in our life, and I won't get into all of it right now, but not all of it is great. There's some struggles and there's some things that we're going through. And it was nice for an hour and a half once a week to know we were going to have our time set aside where we were going to leave that all and just focus on hitting a ball back and forth on a court. It was really fun and it gave us a great escape. It gave us a great energy boost. And now that the weather is better, it also gave us a great shot of the outdoors and some enthusiasm. So we picture that, in our future, I think I've shared before that I would like to be a snowbird. I do not want to live through Canadian winter when I am older. So I would like to be gone from November to March and then come back and enjoy the beautiful Canadian summer with my family. And we imagine that we will live somewhere south. We'll have a second home and we will join a tennis club, and that will be part of what our days look like. And so we took this very first small step to making that dream happen. So there were so many lessons that came through this simple illustration of taking tennis lessons. For one, I'm grateful that I have a beautiful husband who's willing to try new things with me and do them all the time. For two, the fact that we were reminded about communication and teamwork and how being in step and in sequence it is and how important it is to do those things together. For 3, that we both respond really well to positive reinforcement and that we were growing and learning a skill, a new skill, even at this stage together, and that there is the importance of sometimes just setting aside the rest of life and focusing on something that is just purely for fun. And so there were so many simple lessons that I took from that. I wanted to share it with everyone today. I know this is simple and I know it's short, but they were actually really powerful. So if you're thinking about some of these messages and reflecting, please do that because they are important. I've really spent some time thinking about it and they've really sat with me. And if you have the opportunity to embrace a new sport or a new activity, just jump right in. Go book your lessons right now. Have a great day.